Billionaires prefer black women. When I saw that little blog or whatever, the first thing that went into my mind was that, it's real bad if that is being put out. I can even understand wealthy men, let's even say, millionaire white men or whatever, but to say billionaire, it's like, like, for reals, like, to me, any chick that looked at that article and was like, got a kick out of it or just felt better, you're so whack to me. I'm sorry, I hate to say it, like, that's just so whack to me. Like, it's not even like the type of, like, motivation that can get you going. It's just so out of place. Like, really? If you fell for that, you can stop the video right now. Like, quite frankly, clearly, there's nothing that we could really say to each other if you really felt like that shit, was credible. If you got a kick out of that. And I really do believe that. And I really do feel that way. I'm not even joking. I may, have a light tone, but I really do mean that. You can stop it right now. To say billionaire, it's safe to say that globally, we probably have less than, let's say, 2,000 billionaires, and that may even be overdoing it. Right? But it's pretty safe to say that less than 1%, or let's say, I would say less than 1% of the global population are billionaires. It's pretty safe to say. So as far as how that is supposed to give hope or motivation to black women, I'm sitting there and I'm like, for reals? And the sad part about it is, some grown-ass woman probably wrote this. It's one thing if a misguided youth did some shit like that, right? But for a grown-ass woman to put it out there, right? And for other grown-ass women to, like, really find some sort of value in that, I'm laughing at you. Seriously, I am. I'm laughing at that. Right? Like I said before, when it comes to interracial dating and relationships, what's funny is that you can tell that it's unexplored territory for the vast majority of black women that are talking about it. Because once again, the black women who actually do interracially date and who may be married or whatever aren't even the type of, you go girl, I'm going to hang out with my sorority sisters, Delta Sigma Theta, like Essence Magazine, Jazz Festival. Like, it's not even those types of black women. A lot of the times, most of the time, it's the black women who don't fit in with black culture. They didn't get along with the other black girls because they did their hair a certain way, they talked a certain way, they didn't like certain types of music. Simple. So because of that, the women who are bringing it up have virtually zero insight on it. Zero. So when we talk about it from the black male perspective, brothers don't even include the brothers who don't even really identify as black. It's like, because I know plenty of dudes who, they're black, but they don't really care. They can care less about it, right? It's just something that they just have to overcome. That's how they look at their blackness, right? We're not even going off of that. We're not even going off of brothers who aren't necessarily, to a certain extent, entwined with the black male conversation or, black male America. We're going off of simply brothers who are part of that, black male type culture or that black male conversation who do interracially date. Right? But for y'all not even pulling on, like I said before, the black women who are part of that black female engine. Let's Go, Essence Magazine, Festival, or whatever the fuck it is. Y'all not even pulling on examples from that. You're pulling from examples of black women that you don't even know, that you don't even talk to, that you don't even have any insight about. That's how we can tell what's going on. Right? Like I said, I looked at the article and I just, like, sadness kind of like crept in just because of how that can be put out there. And like I said, it's almost like is this a white person doing this? Like, it's like I have a hard time believing a black woman did this because she really felt this way versus she's just trying to get a reaction. So I'm not even mad at the chick who actually wrote it because I don't even think she believes. I think she just wrote it for the simple shock value. And like I said, if somebody said, oh, the author's not even black, it was fake, it was make-believe, I wouldn't, feel shocked if I heard that either. I'm just more so sad at the chicks who actually took some sort of value in that blog, who actually looked at that and was like, yes, see, this is an example. A billionaire? Really? And the part that's stupid, right? And that really highlights just the lack of insight, just in terms of interracial dating and relationships, is that for those who are aware of it, right, in terms of let's say black men or black women who interracially date, or just even the whole concept or the whole topic, you understand that the whole idea of successful white men who don't want kids or who already have kids, so they may be older, maybe divorced or whatever it is, right, don't have a problem with marrying or being in a relationship with a black woman. Because once again, the whole idea of children and who inherits, who's going to get this money, this power, and this wealth really isn't a factor. So that's nothing new. I've had a couple of conversations actually, right, with family and friends and folks here and there that have talked about how they have a sister or a cousin who's in a relationship with a white dude, but they're upset because he doesn't want kids. He doesn't want to have kids. Or he may already have kids, and, it's not a surprise that, his children are white, right? And he may be divorced or whatever, never married, but he's with Keisha or whatever, whatever her name is, and he doesn't want kids. Nothing new about that. So what does that say? Because to me, the whole idea of being married, the shit's fucking pointless if there's no kids. So the whole idea of highlighting a black woman with a billionaire, to me, okay, what's new about that? He either doesn't want to have kids or he either has kids. But the whole idea of, yo, look at this billionaire with a black woman and look at their black kids, right? Because by the one drop rule definition that the world has accepted, that they said this is the case. Once again, black people, we have nothing to do with the one drop rule. We just, they just said, here, take it. And we said, okay, we'll deal with it. By their definition, they're black. So maybe I'm missing something. Maybe, they want to keep their children hidden. I don't know what it is. Right, but I haven't seen any pictures. And usually you tend to see, celebrities and their family, especially, on vacation or whatever it is. So where are them pictures at? Where the kids at? So in the next, 5 or 10 years, hey, we get to look at, a billionaire black boy or a billionaire black girl because they inherited, their father's wealth. But more than likely, we're not going to see that. Because once again, the dude probably does not want to have kids or he already has kids. So no one is saying that, he's just trying to have fun now. All I'm trying to say is, quite frankly, it's kind of meaningless. I mean, if you really think about it, what has made interracial relationships with black men a story, especially when it comes down to successful black men? It's the whole idea of whatever wealth that they've gained, whatever power they've gained, but not even power, but whatever monetary gains that they have had, right, is going to their children. That's the real kicker. Right? So that wealth and power or whatever it is isn't necessarily being enjoyed by a black woman and the kids that, she had for him. That's the real kicker. And the whole idea of eventually that money and that power trickling out of the black community or whatever, as we see now. Or I've been seeing for the last 10, 20 years. just in terms of the community in which I grew up in. That's the kicker. You know, let's keep it 100. What sets black women off when it comes to, brothers interracial dating, it's not the whole, yeah, here's, Jerome and his white girlfriend. It's the whole, here's Jerome, his white wife, and his biracial kids happy. I wish I could take y'all to my environment on a Sunday, when folks go out to dinner or go out to lunch after church, and you'll see, right, the single black chicks or the matriarchal family, right, where you could tell the mom's the leader and all the black boys or any of the black boys who are, like I say, above 21 don't really look like they have any sort of power to them. Like, you could just feel that Big Mama has all the power, right? And then you can see, right, the fucking biracial family, and as Willie Pete said, the guy has on the Tiger Woods hat, you know what I mean? The chick has on the Tiger Woods hat, you have the little frizzy-haired Blake Griffin-looking kids or whatever, and like that's what really sets everything off. Not the simple fact that a black man's walking next to a white woman and they're holding hands. It's like I said, till I see some billionaires walking around with their black daughters and their black sons, and their black sons are going to be groomed to take over, the family business. The next billionaire bad boy. The next billionaire Bruce Wayne, you know what I mean? Malik Wayne, until I see some shit like that, it's almost irrelevant. That's the story. Like, if I would have saw some shit like that, here's a billionaire with his black wife and their black kids, then it would have been like, oh shit, okay, we're getting somewhere. But this whole idea of, okay, they're married or they're dating, what the fuck does that mean? Ain't shit new about that. Nothing new. And I know that there's black women out there that are probably like, damn, we didn't know you guys knew. We know that shit because, once again, y'all forget that we're your brothers. We are your cousins. We are your friends of the family. Like, y'all forget. Like, so we are there when those conversations are had. We are there when you're talking about how, yeah, I've been dating Jeffrey for 2 years and he wants to get married, but he doesn't want to have any kids. Or Scott, who's a 45-year-old, engineer, and she's like 35, and yeah, I love him a lot. We're going to get married, but he doesn't want to have any kids, or I'm just going to focus on raising his kids. And lo and behold, the kids that he has are with what? His white ex-wife. Go figure. So them stories aren't new. At all. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, okay, what's new about this? Now that they're a billionaire, this shit doesn't change. Unless I see a kid with frizzy hair who's going to grow up, to look like Blake Griffin or Darren Williams or, whatever, Shaman Moore or whatever it is, you know what I mean? And they're about to inherit daddy's billions and, be that sort of face. That's some shit to write home about. Then we can really talk. That's like a story. And I'm not even saying that, oh, what are you saying? That, these guys aren't trying, they're only dating them for sexual reasons. No, didn't say that at all. I'm not trying to say that there are no significant, meaningful relationships. Not at all. So the handful, literally less than a handful of actual billionaires on that blog, I'm not saying that they probably don't have some sort of meaningful relationship with the black woman that they're with. They probably do love each other. All I'm trying to say is it's not a coincidence that they don't have any kids. It's not a coincidence that some of these men probably already have kids, and it's not a coincidence that those kids probably are white, so that whoever is going to inherit those billions are more than likely going to be what? White boys and white girls. It's not, a random occurrence. It's not by chance. Hate to say it, but it is what it is. So that's my thought. That's my reaction. I know I'm going to get a lot of shit on this one. I found it to be fun. But hell, it is what it is. Y'all know where to find me. God bless.